Welcome to my taking cuttings guide. Most importantly, before you start taking any cuttings, basically I've got some trays here for putting the cuttings in, is that you prepare it and we give them all water. So you start off with nice damp soil to put them into, and then press them down a little bit. Alright, so cuttings. I've got a few examples here. First thing to remember, if you're taking cuttings, don't be afraid of it, because if you take your cutting and it doesn't work, you've really lost nothing. You've just haven't succeeded this time. Right, it's summertime time of year, so it's a good time of year for taking cuttings. It's basically cuttings you're taking will be soft and fleshy for the summer. Ideally take it when it's not too hot, not incredibly windy, because you don't want them drying out too fast, and try and get them in as fast as you possibly can. So that's the idea, that we get everything set up and then we're all ready to go. So today I'm going to do an example of a lavender, an example of a dahlia, and an example of a gaura. The reason I've picked these is that dahlias tend to take really easily, and they grow quite fast. Lavender, it's again, it takes pretty easily. They grow slower, but they're not the sort of plant you could dig up and separate. So if you're going to want them, a cutting's the quickest way of getting it, especially if you want exactly the same as your initial plant. And gaura, again, if you try and dig them up, they really hate being moved. So separating them again is out of the question. So they're a cutting ideally, and they grow well from the cutting. Right. So firstly, when you're taking your cuttings, I'll start with the dahlia. Right. Basically, if you have a look, I don't know how easily you can see it on the camera. Hopefully, it's fairly good. Ideally, you want to go below what you call a leaf node, which is where the stems are coming out. So you've got a leaf stem there and a leaf coming across there. So you cut beneath there, and then you cut this off here. You can use a knife or secateurs. I'm happy with secateurs. I always do it like this. And there. And because now you've taken away his roots, you need to make sure that you take off as many leaves as possible, because at the moment it hasn't got any roots. So you don't want it losing too much water. So what we're going to do, we're going to chop this one off and this one off as well. Okay, so you're left with two tiny little bits of leaves. We've got a leaf node here which it should shoot off. There's a possibility it might try off this one as well, but the important one is this. Right, now what we're going to do, we're going to put him delicately into the compost. We made a little hole for him and we're just going to cover him up. Okay, right, now what happens where we cut where the leaves were and we pushed it in is wherever there's a leaf on the edge where you've cut it and it comes out, where a shoot comes out, it can produce a root. The idea behind it is over millions of years of evolution. Plants in the past have been like mowed down by animals and cut, and they can't run out of the way, they can't move. So what they've evolved to do, that if an animal takes a part of it, and chomps it and it lays on the ground and they stand on it and push it in, then over centuries and thousands, millions of years, they've evolved so they can reshoot from the bit that's been pushed into the ground from like grazing cattle and other animals that have pushed the thing back in. It's their way of surviving, whereas obviously a human, if they saw someone like knife wielding maniac with a sword or something chopping bits off of them, they'd run out of the way. Plants can't do that, so that's basically how plants have evolved. So anyway, so that's the first little cutting done, and you should be perfectly happy. Right, we'll prepare it. We'll do the gaura now. It's the same thing on all plants. If you're taking cutting this time of year, we want to go for the soft bit of the plant. It hasn't cut perfectly, but this should still be alright. Now with this, we just peel the leaves off and try and grab it by the leaf and not the stem, because the stem's quite delicate. And if you press too hard on the stem, actually this one's quite stuck, so I'm going to just tidy it up a bit. If you press too hard on the stem or rip the stem, then you can end up damaging the stem, so it basically doesn't work how it should. So anyway, this is a bit messy, but don't worry about the messiness. So we've got a nice little one, again grabbing it softly. We've already made a little hole, so we'll put him in there and then we'll press it across. Okay, so that's your next one done in on the same box. Obviously, because they look completely different, we don't need to label them. We know this is a dahlia, this is a gaura. So we'll move this out of the way for now, and we'll move this out of the way. Okay, and we'll move on to lavender. Right, again, exactly the same system, but at the moment this lavender's flowering, and we don't want the lavender to put any effort into the flower, so we chop it off. Sorry, bees. Right, and we take off the two lower ones. As you can see, again, we've cut just below the leaf node, so we've got the potential for it to root side to side there, and we've left a couple of leaves on for it to photosynthesize. So it's got a little bit of everything. We don't need to make a hole because this is quite a strong stem, so we literally just push it in the soil, okay, and then press around it again. And I'll just show you one more example again with the lavender. Okay, so we go down here. Okay, we've got flower here, so we chop it off. Again with the seed, we take off this leaf, just a gentle pull, this leaf, gentle pull, throw it away, and we push it into the soil. Okay, if your soil is very heavy and hard to press into, then obviously if you do need to make a hole, make a hole. In terms of soil, you don't want a soil that's too much. A multi-purpose compost for most things is fairly alright. Like the only thing really to remember at this stage is to, because they are going to dry out quite easily, is to put it somewhere fairly shady to start off with before it starts to root. Obviously we've got a dahlia cutting we've just taken. I'll just show you an example of once you've taken your cutting and it's developed. As you can see, there's been a slug on this one, but he's still doing alright. So we gently push him out of the tray. If it's easier, turn it slightly upside down at the same time and press lightly. Obviously don't grip the stem too hard. And here's a pot I prepared, already watered the soil so it's ready. We do a little hole and press him in. Now at this stage, he's quite well developed, he's got a good root system, and as dahlias like full sunlight, it's perfectly fine to now stick him in full sun because he's fully rooted and happy. And obviously exactly the same for when you've got your gaura or your lavender. Pick them out gently, pot them onto something a bit more substantial, like something like this, and then just gradually repot. But that's about it. It's fairly easy, and say if it goes wrong, you just don't end up getting any cuttings, but if you don't try, you never succeed. So it's always worth a go. But final sort of thoughts, thanks a lot for watching the video. If there's a particular plant you've struggled with or something that you think you might be doing wrong, let me know, questions, comments below, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.